following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Now, last but not least, in the AFC South.
Last and least.
Last and least. That you are correct about that. The very least team in the NFL is the Houston Texans. I don't see a path for the Houston Texans to win more than 2 games all year long. This team is bad, and Deshaun Watson's not walking back through that door. He's just not. They will come up with whatever they have to keep him off the field. Whether it's striking a deal with the commissioner to put him on the exempt list if they're not able to trade him.
Not happening.
I don't know what is going to happen.
Stop putting that misinformation out there. Not only has it never happened, it can't happen. If there is no criminal prosecution, they cannot put him on the exempt list unless he just rolls over and accepts it. There's no video. There's no definitive act. There's no none of that shit. Deshaun Watson is going to play for someone. It's just a question of who.
I think it's more likely that they find a trade partner at some point. Still, the Philadelphia thing is hanging out there.
Wow, winning.
And Deshaun Watson, obviously being on this team, I think it would obviously change things. You can't put a top 5 quarterback on any team in the NFL and say it's not going to make a difference.
Everything else
he was
is just
also
brutal.
on this right. He was also on this team last year and played great, and they won 4 games. So that's not really going to help you a whole lot.
Hey, and you remember that thing I just said about Jacksonville? You got the same thing in Houston. You're not beating any of those teams in the NFC West. None of them. I don't give a damn who plays quarterback in San Francisco. I don't care about any of it. You're not beating any of those teams. You're not beating Indianapolis or Houston or Tennessee either time. That's 8 losses before I even got started real well. And unfortunately for you, you're in a division with a team that was actually shittier than you last year. So your schedule it's not god-awful. It ain't good either. Their gift from the NFC, the 17th game, do you know who it was?
No.
Carolina Panthers.
Really?
You ain't winning that game either.
According to this, their strength of schedule is 31, which means it is the second easiest schedule in the NFL.
I don't know where
and
you're
it's
seeing
still not
that.
going to matter.
They're drunk. I mean, they need to go home because they're drunk.
I guess it's
because they're
projected
non-divisional. This is who they know. Take away the division you play in the NFC and the teams in your division. This is who you get. At the Browns, the Panthers, at the Bills, the Patriots, the Jets, the Chargers, and then obviously the ones that... What game are you winning there?
None of them.
And before you say the Jets, just understand, you might have Tyrod Taylor playing quarterback. And just everything on this team is... That's why best case scenario for the Texans are on the clock.
Yep. Best case scenario is you're as bad as we think you are, and you have the number 1 pick next year to be able to choose your quarterback or get Kayvon Thibodeau or spend it on I keep forgetting the corner's name. Stingley.
Derek Stingley
Jr. That's your path. That's your path.
I mean, they're going to need a quarterback
because
because Deshaun Watson, I don't believe is going to be on this roster.
Oh, they drafted Davis Mills. They don't need anybody else.
Yeah, no. That and a Coke, that and $1 will get you a Coke. So there's that. Best case scenario, you wind up with Sam Howell. The package you get from Philadelphia or whoever else winds up with another couple picks. I will not be shocked if David Culley doesn't. There's 17 games with David Culley as head coach. You clear up all of the nightmare that is around this team. You fire him and you bring in a legitimate coach because I don't think David Culley is one.
Yeah.
I think it really speaks to how dysfunctional your organization is that that's the only person that would take your job.
Could you add a new quarterback, get a couple of other pieces, and convince, I don't know, that feller from New England to come take this job?
Josh McDaniels?
Yeah, Nick Caserio's now the GM down there. They've been trying to put Patriots guys in that organization. Could that be a path?
Maybe. I don't know why he would take it. This team is 2 years away from being 2 years away. Tell me what on this roster you actually feel good about. Name one position group. There's not one.
Nope.
Half your roster doesn't belong in the NFL. That's how bad this team is.
Going through the offseason and seeing them rack up, signing after signing after signing after signing, it was all just retread dudes. Just guys that, what the hell are you doing? Obviously, they've got David Johnson from the D-Hop trade.
Well, they went out and got running backs.
Right, they went out and got Mark Ingram and Rex Burkhead and Philip Lindsay, and your whole, it's just like it's like the replacements. It's like you just went out and went, have you played in the NFL before? Did we hear your name called 3 times during a season? Yep, come here. You're playing on this team.
I mean, and then you get into the secondary, and it's Vernon Hargraves and Desmond King.
Oh, God. I mean,
Vernon
Hargraves is a cuss word to Tampa Bay fans.
As well it should be. Worst case scenario for the Texans, Houston, you have a problem. Because you end up let's say you end up beating Jacksonville and you win a couple more of these, and then you wind up right where you were last year, or where you would have been had you not traded your pick.
Right.
You got a pick that's at 4 or 5. Let's say you trade Deshaun Watson and the deal works out and Philadelphia winds up in the playoffs and you wind up with 2 picks in the 20s. And that's what you get off your, perennial Pro Bowler quarterback. Right. There is a path to that. And that's the worst case scenario. I'm going to level, and I'm going to be as nice about this as I can be. How many games could this team win if you wore the rosiest Texan colored glasses humanly possible?
Well, you got both games against Jacksonville.
I don't think you can win them both. I don't think you can go to Jacksonville and beat them. I don't think there's a team in the league that you can go to their building and beat them.
You got the Jets at home.
All right. I don't agree, but I'll give you that
one. I'm stretching
You're
already.
at 3.
I know I'm at 3.
That's the best you could be. If I give you both Jacksonville games and the Jets game, you're still 3-14. And I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell you beat the Jets, and I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell you beat the Jaguars twice. That has gentleman's split written all over it.
Yeah.
You win one at home, we win one at home. That's what that screams to me.
Yeah, I have done a couple of prognostications, and I think twice I have ended up with Jacksonville and Houston both having 1 win. The bottom of this division is horrendous. And I think that's going to obviously just lift the boat for the top 2 teams in the division, because that's 4 automatic wins for each of them. But when it comes to the rest of your schedule, there aren't a lot of winnable games on there. The Houston Texans have to have everything go right, and I can't even put into words what that means. If everything goes right for this team,
you win 3 games.
Then what are we? But realistically, what are we saying? Tyrod Taylor comes in here and he is what? Serviceable?
No, best case scenario is you find a way to kiss and make up with Deshaun Watson. All of the off-field things go away, and then you have a quarterback, which is the same quarterback you had last year, and you won 4 games. And now the schedule's tougher, and now you have young quarterbacks throughout the division, and by young I mean 30 or younger. And you're just destined to be the worst team in this division. Worst case scenario, it's a scrap everything. Everybody here needs to be fired, and you're not going to be able to replace them. This job was open longer than any job in the NFL. Nobody would even interview with them. No, Eric Bieniemy, they called. He said no.
Yeah, because they knew whoever was going to take this job was going to be the fall guy for how it ends up.
Yep.
And that's where David Culley finds himself. It's the Hugh Jackson. He's now the Hugh Jackson of the NFL.
And I think that's an apropos comparison.
Yeah, because he's going to come in. He's thrown on a shit team. He's not going to be able to do anything with it. He's going to maybe win a game or 2, possibly 0, like Hugh Jackson did, and he's fired immediately. And then you move on.
Yep. This division's super easy for me. You got 2 teams that are going to be double-digit wins, 2 teams that are going to be double-digit losses. And I'm not sure that I see that changing anytime in the next 3 years. I don't know if there's anything that could change that in the next 3 years.